Alrighty, now we're gonna take a big pivot and take a look at line versus space notes. Again, landmark notes. These are just kind of some ways to help us out in figuring out. Okay. Alrighty, now we're gonna take a big pivot into line versus space notes as we get into some landmark note reading. So, notes with a mustache. Ledger lines going straight on through, that would be our line notes. So these line notes are really just going to make sure that we understand that they have the line going straight through, straight through, straight through, straight through. So in class, when I say that's a line note or we're looking for a line note, that means the ledger line, all these lines are going straight through the note. And if you want to imagine for a moment, it kind of looks like boink, boink, they have little mustaches. So again, ledger lines go straight through. That is a line note. Now, our space notes look more like hats look like they have hats or that they have a bow tie, and the ledger lines are touching above and below. So space notes over here, there's nothing going through them. They're filled with space. They kind of look like they could have a hat up here, like you could draw on a hat, or a bow tie or both. Like this one would have a hat. If we had a space note up here, it would have a bow tie. This one has a hat and a bow tie, hat and a bow tie. Again, those ledger lines, all of these lines, they're above and below the notes. Nothing is going through it. It's filled with space. Line notes, line goes through, space, filled with space. That is line versus space notes. Alrighty, now landmark notes. These are the base ones that we're going to talk about. We have middle C in the middle. Now, middle C is for both your left hand and your right hand. So on your piano, when you play middle C, just depending on what it's telling you to do, it's going to be your left hand or your right hand. Now, we're going to take a look at just the right hand for a moment, where we have treble G. Now, if your thumb is on middle C, treble G will be finger 5. So go ahead on your piano, if it's near you, just go ahead and play middle C, treble G. Boom, perfect. Alrighty, now we have treble C, which is up here. So middle C, treble C. This is just the next C on your piano. It's just a little bit higher. So go ahead and find that one on your piano. Boom, there it is. Now, if your thumb is on this one, on this high C, so again, finger 1, then your pinky will be all the way up here on high G. Boom, right there. You've got 1 to 5 right here and 1 to 5 right here. Now, why is this important with that right hand? Part of it is it's easier to read 4 notes than it is to read all the line and space notes in between. So if you look over here, we have G, A, and B. G is a line note, A is a space note, B is another line note. So as you count up from it starting at G, boom, 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 so they're 3 away from each other. If you just know that this note right over here, in that space where there isn't a note, is C, then you can know, ooh, we're just going back 1, back 2, back 3 from C. So knowing these landmark notes allows us to be able to read music that we don't actually know the real name of the note. It's almost like a cheater's way of doing it, but it's not cheating at all because most pianists read music this way. Now, let's take a look at that left hand. Middle C again, bass clef F. So this just means your left hand thumb is on middle C and your pinky automatically should be on bass clef F, both of which are line notes. Ooh. Okay, go ahead and find those on your piano. Middle C, bass F. Sweet deal. And again, that's just if you're near your piano. Now we also have bass C and low F. So find that lower C. So it's not middle C, it's the one going down the piano. That's a little bit lower. We're just going to put our thumb on there, which means automatically low F is with finger 5. Pretty cool. Yeah, so you can go ahead and play that on your piano as well. Now, if you notice our landmark notes, line note, and then with our left hand line note, and then the bottom 2 are space. And the cool thing too is we've got C, G, C, G, C, F, C, F. So we've got lots of patterns happening. Again, landmark notes are helping us learn how to read music without actually having to know every single note when we're playing. Boom, because we can count just like this using our line, space, line, space, line, space, all the way up. Woo! Alrighty. Next up, we have our space notes on the treble clef. So if you prefer mnemonics, which there are students that prefer this, so if you're one of them, that is fantastic. I am not one of them because I prefer landmark notes, but it is totally up to you. We're going to focus specifically on space notes for both the treble and the bass clef. Treble clef is F-A-C-E. It spells out the word face. So each of those spaces is a note. F-A-C-E. Again, the space notes. Now, if you prefer to look at the bass clef, which is typically the trickier one to read, we have all cows eat grass, which I think is probably true, but who knows? Maybe some of them don't. A, C, E, G. Again, starting at that bottom and going all the way up in the spaces. All cows eat grass. A, C, E, G. And if you want to write this down, you totally can. Your parents can help you take a picture of this as well, and it'll always be in the email. Alrighty, all cows eat grass. Face. Whoa. So right hand is face. Go ahead and touch your right hand to your face. I'm doing mine. I'm tapping my cheeks. Just helps you remember. Then with your left hand, I just want you to kind of shake it in the air. I'm shaking mine right now too. All cows eat grass. A-C-E-G.